College athletes, you may have heard your school is going to be able to share revenue directly with you starting in 2025. That's less than 12 months away. Think about that. That's huge. It's not just a little bit of money. Schools are going to be able to share up to $22 million a year with their athletes. This is huge. It's a big step forward because, as we know, the NCAA and the schools have been fighting against this happening for over 100 years. There are many current leaders of college athletic departments who've said on record, I'll retire if this ever happens. Well, it's happening, and that's big. But like any big deal, there's fine print. And I want to tell you, a lot of our athletes.org member athletes have been asking us questions every day since this settlement was announced. Why $22 million? How will this money be split by sport? How will I negotiate my contract with my school? What will I have to give up? These are just a few of the many wise questions athletes have been asking us here at athletes.org because they want to know how this is going to work. The first thing you need to know is, however it's going to end up working, it did not include you in the negotiation. The NCAA, school, and conferences negotiated with attorneys for the plaintiffs in this court case and basically said, here's what we think is the most fair thing for college athletes. You did not have a seat at the table in the negotiation of these terms. And that's nothing new in college athletics, right? I mean, that's kind of how we got here. Many college athletes have graduated, left, gotten informed on how the business of college sports works, and decided to sue the NCAA and win. O'Bannon, NIL, Alston, educator-related benefits, Carter, Hubbard, House, the settlement you're seeing today that's going to now change college sports with revenue sharing. But the question I have is, what if current college athletes were not only informed with how the business of college sports works, but had representation as a group to negotiate for themselves with their school on how all of this is going to work? Here's the deal. You're going to have a chance to do that starting in October. The judge in this settlement is going to give you over 100 days to submit questions or objections to the terms in the House settlement. The more athletes that speak up, the more likelihood that the judge considers revisions to the settlement terms, which will be great for all because it's a 10-year deal. And whatever she approves in March 2025 will be in play for the next decade. So speaking up by not only getting informed, but being informed enough to have a lot of great questions for the judge to consider, a lot of great objections for the judge to consider is going to be paramount for college athletes to finally get their seat at the table. Once the settlement's approved, every school will have a choice to answer a lot of the questions I said earlier. How will the money be split by sport? How will I negotiate my contract? All of those things are things you should be sitting at the table with your school to negotiate. What you got to realize is if you don't have a seat at the table, you're going to end up on the menu. And for a long time in college athletics, the leaders have set the rules expecting you to take whatever you can get. The time has changed where athletes now can start to speak up on what they believe they deserve to get. And this moment in time is a time where you can step up to not only object and ask questions, but once the settlement's approved, be able to lead the charge on your campus to ensure that you and your teammates get the very best terms in this new era of college sports. By joining athletes.org, you not only can get informed on how all of this is going to work, you can not only ask questions and get them answered, but we can help you formulate questions for the judge. We can also help you formulate objections for the judge. And that is what we're going to be working on starting in October during that 100+ day period so that the judge can really hear from you on what the terms of this new deal should look like. So join athletes.org and join us in the movement because once again, if you don't have a seat at the table, you'll end up on the menu. But athletes.org is giving you a true seat at the table to empower yourself, your teammates, and college athletes for the rest of time to be able to speak up for what they want on their campus.